Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Runnymede Crafts online tutorials on jewellery making. In the first episode we covered necklace making. Now we're going to move on to earrings. They can be a very inexpensive project to make. So what we'll do is first of all I'm going to show you the different types of finishes available for necklaces and chains and other bits and pieces you can make. The one we're using today, these are silver plated. These charms are made out of what are called Tibetan silver. These are readily available on the internet in large quantities and different subjects. These are the stud earrings I use for my shop. These are silver plated, as are the charms. The other finishes available are these are gold plated. These are clip-on earrings. I started using these the year before last. And so the stud earrings and the fish hooks I'm about to show you are also available in the same finish. This is an interesting one. This is called rose gold. This has like a sort of pink metallic finish to it. Forgive my sniffling. Unfortunately, I've come down with a bit of a cold, but we won't let that distract us too much from today's session. Yes, this rose gold one. This is another one I started using recently. Has a kind of pearlescent, also like a bronze finish almost. I've done a couple of earrings with these with matching charms for the shop. And there's also other different finishes available, like sterling silver, which is similar to what you'd normally see in regular jewellers, and also proper 24 and 18 karat gold. But for the entry level jewellery maker, these gold and silver plated items are more than suitable for this kind of project. Also, in addition to these, a lot of them, it's best to check also what they're made of, because some of them are made out of surgical steel or may have nickel. So if you're making for a friend or as a gift, please check to make sure that they don't have any allergies to either nickel or anything like that. I always check with customers when I sell these to make sure that they don't have any allergies, because obviously that's best to be safe than sorry. But anyway, that's enough of the health and safety bit. Let's start crafting in 3, 2, 1, craft. Now first of all, we have our jump rings, and you probably remember these little metal hoops from episode 1. These are what we'll use to attach our charm to our earrings. So taking our 2 pairs of pliers, as you remember from episode 1, one pair of pliers in one hand, one in the other. So we grip them nice and tight, then just gradually open them up. So we have our jump ring. We'll take our stud earring and just thread it through like that. Now the number of jump rings you can use to attach the charm, I use potentially 1 or 2, but you can add more if you want more of a if you want the charm to dangle a bit more, maybe 2, 3 or 4, make like a little chain. But I find 2 works well. 2's a good number. So to close the jump ring there with pliers. Find the opening on the second one. As you probably remember from episode 1, they can be quite fiddly, especially they're small ones. These are 5mm diameter jump rings. I normally use between 3 and 5, but it all depends on the size of things like the chain or the earrings, and also the size of the charm. So if it's something smaller, you could use a smaller size. But I think for your first project, I would go charm size. I would go to for a charm like this, I'd use the 5mm ones because they're much easier to handle. And see our charm here. We got a key, shaped like a heart. There's a key to. I've marketed these as a key to my heart, because as I've got a few more of these on the shop already. I know it might sound a bit slushy, but I'm romantic. So to attach our charm, just thread it through the jump ring there, like so. Use the 2 pliers. This will take quite a bit of practice, especially if you're new to jewellery making, using the 2 pliers to open and close the jump rings. So always remember to take your time, be patient, and always make sure that when you're closing the jump rings or opening them up, just to make sure you've got a nice firm grip on them, like that. So there we have it, our very first charm earring. This is the stud version. So as you've done the first one, so we do need to repeat the steps on the second one. These were the first jewellery items I made when I introduced this to my craft group a couple of years ago when I started working for the local mental health charities. As I learned how to do jewellery making through a mental health charity which I attend regularly for support. And that's how I sort of got into it really, and it sort of built from there. It's making necklaces and bracelets and chokers and so forth, and it's been very successful for the business as well, especially during Christmas time. Gifts like this are very, very popular. And also, if you look on the internet like Amazon and eBay, you can find virtually a treasure trove of different charms, and you can also find some very unusual ones. So I was saying on a previous video, I had a bag of gold-plated charms recently with things like a speedboat in it, of all things. There's a jet ski, looked like playing pieces from Monopoly. I was expecting the next batch we'll probably find either an iron and an old boot and a dog, or a top hat like they used to have in Monopoly back in the day. Very interesting. And I've also had some silver plate ones. I had some with some spoons in it, which I sold to someone who sort of, whoops, that's another reason why. Apologies for that. That's another reason why it's always best to make sure you've got a nice, when you're closing or opening up the jump rings, make sure you grip them nice and tight, as they will slip like that. And what was I saying? Yeah, so I made a set of these stud earrings for the stall, and I had a pair of teaspoons. Yeah, so I they had some teaspoons, and I sold them to someone who was very much into baking, and they were absolutely thrilled. So it just shows really how these have an unusual charm, like some keys or spoons or the speedboat I mentioned earlier. It can be also quite a good conversation piece as well. So it's like these ones. A key to someone's heart, to a loved one, a friend, a family member, someone you hold dear. So there we have it. That's our first step into the world of earring making. Now stay tuned, in the second half of this video we're going to be looking at making another set of earrings. We're going to be using another type. These are fish hook ones, like this. We'll be using some silver plate ones in the second half of this video. And we'll be using different things, including charms and hat pins for this one to create a pearl stack as part of to dangle, replacing the charm with pearls and beads. So stay with us for that one. It's going to be fun. Well, now we've covered stud earrings and clip-on earrings in our first part of this session, I'm hoping you're ready to try something a little bit more challenging now, using different items such as embellishments and pearls and hat pins. So for this one we're going to use the silver plated fish hook earrings like this. These are perfect for doing earrings with a dangle earring, we call them over here at the shop. So you'd have your fish hook here, and on this little hook here you'll have either a charm attached with maybe 1 to 2 jump rings, or you can also make different embellishments as well using one of these. This is called a hat pin. It's like look at the top here, it just looks like a metal nail. Now these are made with silver and gold plated metals, and they're very soft, so you can bend these into different shapes, create hooks, or cut them, make them longer and shorter if necessary. But for this one, you can use some different sort of embellishments. This is a stop for a necklace. This came out of the starter kit I bought when I started doing jewellery making, and they're ideal for this project. So what we'll do with that is we put that there onto the hat pin. They go all the way down to the bottom. This will act as a stop as well. So when it hits when you put the beads and stuff on, they won't fall off. Especially these faux pearls we're using. These are more designed for bracelets, and they do sometimes fall. If you use hat pins with these, they can sort of go right the way down to the bottom and fall off. That's why we're putting this little necklace stop at the bottom to prevent them from slipping off when they go down. So we've put 1 pearl on there, and 2. You can put here as many as you want, really. Sort of build it up like a little stack, and then put maybe one of the embellishments at the top to even it out a bit. Now these sort of necklace and bracelet embellishments, like the stop here, or like this stop. There's a wide variety of those available at different craft shops and internet suppliers. So you really could go to town on something like this and create something that's very unique, a real one-off project. And obviously the different parts here will also really make it pop as well, giving it that little something extra. And that's one thing I like to do with a lot of the projects, is to create something that's not only unique but something that really pops, like using bright colours, different coloured beads, like these, or different coloured pearls like the faux ones here with the anodised finish. So we're going to go on this one. We're going to go with 2. We're going to go with 2 pearls on this one, and using my forefinger here at the top and the thumb, we're going to cut just a little bit of this hat pin off, just to shorten it a little. It's best to rest it on the table so you get a nice straight cut. So take the side, so you take long nose pliers, just cut the end off there. Best be careful when cutting these, because if you cut them too hard, they do sometimes have a tendency for these other parts to fly off in all directions. So best to take great care with those, but this one's fine. So now we cut a hat pin down, we need to create a loop like on the bottom here for that to connect to that, to connect to the bottom of the earring. Now to do that, we're going to use these round nose pliers. These are other ones also came with my kit. So we grip the top of the hat pin, hold it nice and tight, and just gently turn it, just gently twist it round. As you can see that it's just creating a hook. So this just slipped out there. There we go. Now when you're turning the top of the hat pin or eye pin into a hook, it's best to hold them on nice and tight. you can just see it's just going around, just creating like a little horseshoe shape there. So grip again, and just keep turning it around. Use your thumb with your other hand as a rest while it goes round. It's more comfortable just release the pies and then just go anti-clockwise back until you've got just about so you don't want to turn it all the way around just yet. You want to leave like a small gap, and that's for the other part of the ear for you to attach it to the earring. So if it's gone too far, just put the pliers through the hook again, just pull it back out a bit so you've got a little bit of a gap for it to attach. So I'm taking the take the ends of the earring, just thread it through like this, and take the long nose pliers. Now, if you remember from the first episodes of this series of how we close the jump rings, you can do exactly the same with these. Just clamp the hook in there and a little squeeze. Oh. See, it's a bit fiddly with the pearls on there. Let's try that again. There we go, a little tiny little squeeze. Close that off. And there we go, you just create your first dangle fishhook earring. So that's the first one, so we're just going to make the second one. Make the second part, we'll have a matching pair. So as before, take the hat pin or embellishment or stop on first, and the pins. Finger and thumb to hold the hat pin position while we just trim off the excess. Now these excess parts, they're always useful to have. You can always best to keep those around, keep them handy, because they're always useful for making short parts of jewellery making. So just you've got a little tin or something to keep them in. And that's for the hook. Just round we go. Back off a little bit so it's got room to put the hook on. Now as you start using things like hat pins and what they call eye pins, which are similar to the hat pins, they have a hook just like this on one end. And for things like this, they're ideal because with the eye pins you've got one hook here. You can sort of trim it down and put the hook at the other end, so you can have either charm here on the ends and some pearls and some of these stops or other embellishments to really give it that little extra something to really make that project pop, especially if it's for yourself or for a friend or someone. So and then lastly, we'll put our earring on with a finger and thumb to so finger and forefinger and thumb. Pliers, clamp it down. So there we have it. So congratulations, you created your first 2 pairs of earrings. Another step closer to becoming the master of jewellery making. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. Also follow us on Patreon as well, help us support our work in the community. Follow us on social media, instructions are at the end of this video. And also shop with us at www.runnymedecrafts.com. Hope to see you soon. Remember, stay crafty.